Hello, and welcome back to Authentically Shawna. I'm your host, Dr. Shawna Burke. This is episode number 3. 3 is my favorite number. So I wanted to talk about one of my favorite people and the person who really encouraged me to create this podcast. Her name was Micky. She was the wife of Dr. Curtis Buddingh. I got connected to Curtis Buddingh, who was a sacral occipital technique practitioner, a chiropractor, and just an overall amazing human. I became his patient, I would say like early 2018, and worked with him for several months. And he discharged me from his care. And while I was finishing up my first summer in graduate school, and I'd wanted to reconnect with him, but grad school was a little bit bananas. And I went to a course in October 2021 in Arizona with a technique called contact reflex analysis. And when I was getting on the plane, so for reference, I have flown a lot of JetBlue planes. My dad works for that airline and big JetBlue fans over here. And I misjudged where the overhead compartment was, and I banged my head really hard, like gave myself a pretty good knock in the head. I was like, oh gosh, well, at least I'm about to go to a conference where I know there'll be a lot of chiropractors. I'm sure someone will be able to help me. I tried working out myself and I wasn't resolving it. So I get to the conference. I get there kind of late at night and everyone's kind of in bed. And I find out that Dr. Buddingh is there and his wife, Micky. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing coincidence. I can't believe that they're here. Like, what are the odds? What a small world that they're at this conference. So I find him. He's like just about ready to go to bed. And I'm like, I hit my head really hard. Dr. Buddingh, can you take a look? And he was a very silent person, like did not say a lot, had the best poker face. I mean, he just, you could ask him things and I would have like, is this me, Dr. Buddingh? What do you do? If you've met me, you probably know that I'm a big question asker. And he was just like, I'll meet you downstairs tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., something like that, right? So he had driven, they lived in Palm Desert area at the time, and he had driven in with his wife, Micky. And so he had his table in the car. So I wake up early and he treats me and I instantly feel better. Like I get off his table and I'm like, thank you so much. Like I wasn't sure how I was going to do this conference I just had a bad headache. I felt so much pressure in my skull. And I reconnected with his wife. And I will say she is a very hard person to know. She definitely was a businesswoman through and through. I mean, I, I, I think that if she was 80, so she turned 80 this past February 2024. I think if she would have been born like maybe in my parents' generation or even after that, she would have been like a billionaire. She was amazing at business. She just happened to be from a generation where that, wasn't really a thing for women. And so she ran her husband's practice and did an amazing job of running his practice. He was the practitioner and she was behind the scenes supporting him. And I mean, she considered herself to be like a bulldog. Like she was so protective of him because he was so sensitive as a person and so gifted at what he did in a way that I think makes it hard to be a shrewd business person. And I think that's also what it requires to run a successful business. And they were such an amazing team together. And I reconnected with them at this conference and was like, can I come shadow Dr. Buddingh? Now, again, like I feel like I can't overstate this, that they did not let people into the practice. They were just very protective of his energy, which I so understood. And to my astonishment, she said yes. She's like, I can't believe how much you've grown as a person. Like when we first met you, you were not good. And here's the very funny thing about me, and I'm sure everyone thinks this, like when I first saw them in February, I really thought I was keeping it together. Like I knew I didn't feel, but I thought that I was keeping it together. Apparently I was not. And she was like, I just can't believe how much you've grown and how much better mentally you are. Like I can just tell you've made such big changes in your life since we last saw you. And yes, you can come up to our practice. We'd love to show you what we're doing. And yeah, just kind of have you see behind the scenes of Kurt does and how he operates. And so summer then of 2022, I went up with my mom. We went to Palm Desert and I got to go shadow in his practice every day. And he was so good at what he did. Like I am looking forward to the day when I'm as brilliant of a practitioner as he was. And I know I'll get there in my own way. But he could feel we have muscles behind, well, we have muscles everywhere. Haha. But there is a muscle, they're called suboccipitals. They're what essentially help you keep your head on your neck. And he could feel different parts of the muscle and know what was going on in your body. He could feel a muscle fiber and know that your hormones were unbalanced. He could feel a muscle fiber and know that your liver wasn't functioning well. Like the level of precision and detail and understanding of the human body he had is there are very few people in the world who can do that. I will say that. And I just got to watch him. He talked through some of the things that he did with me. And I was just so honored that I got to spend time with them. Like we went out to lunch with them and like I feel like there are people in life who are so talented at what they do, both in business and in practice. And you're just like, I can't believe that you want to spend time with me. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for letting me come and experience this because I was the first person that they had let into their office and let shadow him in about a decade. And I really so grateful that I got to do that because he passed the following January. So just a few months after I had seen him. And I was so just honored to have gotten to know him in a way that was a little bit outside of being a clinician. I got to know him as a person. So they were living in Palm Desert at the time. And after he passed, Mickey decided to move to the Tustin area, which isn't that far away from Long Beach. So he passed in January. She moved like around April. Yeah, 2023. So he passes January 2023. She moves out here April 2023. And I go and visit her. Um, yeah, invites me to come have lunch with her and my mom. And I think it's really interesting, right, that we all have different personalities and that certain personalities get together differently. And my mom was like, I mean, she tolerates me. And that's, I think, how most people felt about her. She like tolerates you. But my mom's like, she really likes you. And I don't know. I haven't really ever had a friendship like the one I had with Mickey. And there was just, I'm probably going to cry because I really miss her. But there was just something so special about the way that she saw me and the potential that she knows that I have and who I want to be in the world and what I want to bring to the world. And I think in a way she got me and she understood me in a way that I haven't met anyone else who has. And I feel really, really blessed that I got to really get to know her the last year of her life. And I would go visit her about once a month and we'd have really long lunches and really beautiful discussions. And yeah, there was just something that was so sacred about letting her know me and getting to know her. And it's hard to explain, but the way that I felt witnessed and seen by her was something that I've truly never experienced. And it's a friendship that I didn't know that I could have. And it really changed the trajectory of my life in such a positive way. And if you listen to the first two episodes, you know that the past like 7, almost 8 years have been quite a struggle for me. And she was really one of the people who was like, okay, like you've had a lot of pain and you have to alchemize this. Like if you don't take these painful lessons that you've learned and share them in some capacity, if you don't transmute this, like it will eat you up. And So this podcast was a way that I felt that I could start sharing all of these lessons that I've learned and a way to really, I'm going to say, like, revolve to the next level. And for me, that means like being a girlfriend, being a fiance, being a wife, being a mom in a personal life. And then in the other direction is like running my own business, a sustainable business, having multiple streams of income. Like, and I think she was someone that really saw how badly I want this. And I think it's difficult for your family sometimes to see and understand and appreciate. Not that my family isn't wonderful, but I think sometimes people know you too well. And she was just enough on the outside to where she saw different. And I really hope that everyone gets to have friends who are in different age brackets that they are, because it is so brilliant to get to spend time with people who've done the thing that you're trying to do. Her and her husband ran an extremely successful, not only practice, but he went and taught around the world, and they have a chiropractic belt that she continued to run even past him being alive. And she also would consider herself to be someone who didn't have talent. And I was like, I'm offended that you think that. Like, I'm offended that you think that your husband is the only talented person in your family, because your business acumen is like off the charts. And your ability to know people and their intentions is also off the charts. And something that like grieving is that she won't get to help me pick out the people that I'll be in business with. Like, that was really our intention, was that I would start my business on my own, which, well, I'll talk more about that as well. But our intention was that she was going to help me find my office manager. And like, I really wanted her to be in the room with me. Yeah, as I did these interviews, and just like her voice in my head, I know will keep playing, but really did glean so much from our friendship. And the other thing that I want to say was she was so brilliant at creating. And so you have this person who's so good at business and so good at seeing like the BS of people and just like shutting it down. Like, I've never seen someone who could be just so like, this is it, which I love that about her. But she also created jewelry, like beautiful jewelry with wiring. And she was an artist and a businesswoman and a mother and a wife and so many things that myself aspired to be. And I just have such gratitude that I got to spend time with her and get to witness that in her as well. And I think there's this really beautiful thing that happens when you witness someone and they witness you back equally. And it's something that I don't think many people get to experience. And so, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much, Micky. Her family really graciously allowed me to have all of her jewelry making things, um, because no one in her family wanted to continue that on. So um, that's also something that I really want to continue to do, and something that I really want to learn. I loved beading as a kid. So now I have like 10 lifetimes worth of supplies. So maybe more on that later. Maybe like having some beading workshops or classes, because I have a lot of supplies, and I think she would really love that other people are using her thing. I did not think I was going to cry this much, but I think this is really cathartic for me, just to sit here and express, yeah, this like authentic version of me that normally really dislikes crying. If you would have met me a year ago and you would have said to me, Shawna, you're going to go on a podcast and you're going to cry and other people are going to be able to hear you crying and talking at the same time, I would have said, no, thank you. Really hard pass on that. I've had a really hard time crying in front of other people. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I have been very stoic for a lot of the past 7 years, because I've just felt that if I could, quote unquote, keep it together, things would be okay. And I just am slowly but surely allowing myself to express my emotions more in an external way and not only in an internal way. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I would be remiss if I didn't also do a business plug, because Micky was also she'd be like, Shawna, you also have to sell something. Like, you can't just talk. You have to sell something. That's the voice that I'm hearing in my head from Micky. So if you'd like to support the podcast, one way you can do that is to change up your hair care routine if that suits you at the moment. I am currently working with Monat, Monat. If you feel like you need a new hair care routine, let me help you. You can DM the word hair quiz on Instagram, which is at Dr. Shawna Burke. That's at DrShawnaBerk. And I've been using this product for a couple months. I have naturally wavy hair. And just from all of the health issues that I've had, my hair was not great. Shampoo and conditioner and leave-in products have really helped me get back to my, and maybe I don't want to say back, have just helped my curl become like bouncy and light. And I love my curl pattern. I'm just seeing it again. And I'm so excited. So if you are ready to change your hair, if you want to change up your hair, let me know. Would love to help. I'm taking it back old school. I originally got my chemistry degree because I wanted to work in cosmetics. And so worked at Second Street Beauty in Long Beach, which no longer exists, but would help people pick out some shampoo. So I'm taking it back old school and would love to help you on your scalp and hair health journey. You're listening to Authentically Shawna with Dr. Shawna Burke. The information contained in this podcast is provided for information purposes only and is not intended for the purpose of diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any disease. Before using any products or techniques referenced in this podcast, consult your healthcare provider. Individuals on this podcast may have direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to